Hello friends, it's David here making this video today to talk about a few things, but I'd start with some bad news, which is that our friend Ian from the TheDiomedef16 has passed away. Apparently it happened in December 2024. His last communication via his Facebook group was in November, saying that he was taken to hospital with difficulty breathing, and that was confirmed today by a member of the solo wargaming group on Facebook called Alan. Thank you, Alan, for sharing that news with us. I'd wondered what had sort of happened with Ian. Unfortunately, YouTube used to have a feature where you could direct message people, and that seems to have disappeared. And one of the reasons I know that it's disappeared is because Ian was one of the first people that I directly corresponded with on YouTube. This was many years ago when I started, probably around 10 years ago. And I'll never forget that I had a spare copy of Solo Wargaming by Donald Featherston, an absolute classic. And I remember having a spare copy because I'd bought it in ebook format due to impatience, and then the physical version had arrived. And at this point, Ian was talking about developing his solo wargaming capabilities. And I felt compelled to reach out to him via this direct messaging thing and offered to send him a copy for free, more so that I could get his thoughts on it, And he and I corresponded over YouTube for some time, often in the comments of videos. Particular favorites of mine were his videos where he was in his sort of summer digs on the Yorkshire coast near Mappleton, and he would show off the coastal erosion there. And it's something that I am very interested in. I like sort of geology, I guess. Anyway, and Ian always made time to respond and likewise comment on my videos. I enjoyed his wargaming output, but as I say, the other thing I really enjoyed was his broader contribution to the YouTube community. And I think that along with a very small subset of people, I think at this point, he represents a fading notion of what YouTube is, less of a content platform for churning out quote-unquote content, and more of a sort of social network of gamers, wargamers, or just people in general talking over very long distances. So for instance, he made a lot of videos about prepping for winter. He was a pensioner, so in Britain that's not a particularly easy life to live, and he was always talking about ways of dealing with saving money on his heating bill and saving money with food and how to deal with power outages and all that kind of stuff. Really a man after my dad's own heart, because he's exactly the same. And so, I enjoyed all his content, regardless of whether it was about wargaming or other things more generally. And as I say, that's the sort of style of YouTube channel that's very quickly fading. There aren't many people who make channels like that anymore. Those who watch this channel will know that Ralph Astley is one of the people who still makes that kind of video, and bless him for it. And so yeah, Ian will be missed. It's I think he was 71 when he passed away, and it's I don't really know what to say other than that. The second part of what I want to talk about quickly is my ideas for this channel moving forward. There's an idea that I've been playing with for some time, which is that although I like making videos about wargaming, and that's ostensibly what the channel is about, I mean the title says it all, right? Zen and the Art of Miniature Painting. For some time I felt compelled, I guess is the word, but I felt the desire to branch out somewhat with my videos that I make. Like most people, I'm not one-dimensional. I'm not just all about wargaming all the time. I enjoy reading, and I've alluded to that in some of my videos. I'm a keen linguist as well, you know. And so from time to time I've toyed with the idea of, oh, I'd love to make a video about this, that, the other. And I've always kind of pulled myself back from doing that because I thought, well, no, that's not what the channel's for. The channel's for wargaming stuff, you know, it says so in the title. But then I look at the reality of it is that my channel's not like massively popular. You know, I don't have a ton of subscribers. The blast radius of disappointment, I guess, is quite low. And you know, there's a part of my mind which says if somebody sees a video that they're not interested in, so let's say talking about etymology or something, they can just choose not to watch it. And if they really, really think that posting other videos about other stuff besides miniature wargaming is such a deal breaker, they can always unsubscribe and just not watch. Because I think the reality is that I make my videos for people like Ian and people like Ralph, you know. And so I don't think that it's necessarily beyond the realms of possibility that I can just kind of do my own thing. So I'm toying with the idea of a rebrand, maybe changing the name of the channel or something. I don't know. I haven't got really an idea on that front. I just know that I've had for some time now this idea in my mind that I'd like to make videos that are not just about wargaming. Again, using as my models both Ian and Ralph. And there are a few others. Although I will say that generally channels tend to have kind of a sort of through line. So somebody might be into wargaming and then they might do some role-playing stuff or whatever. But those are things that are kind of adjacent to each other. I mean, slightly less adjacency. Anyway, so yeah, it's just on my mind today. I tried recording this video earlier about the idea of diversifying the channel in that regard. And I just could not really say what I wanted to say. So I scrapped all of that, walked away from the computer. And then I was actually watching one of Ralph's videos. I just finished watching his Kerouac documentary that he uploaded. And once that was finished, I was doing something on my phone to help my wife, and I got a notification on a Facebook group saying that Ian had passed away. So I felt compelled to just record this now while it's fresh on my mind and kind of share my thoughts on the notion of diversifying the channel and not just being a one-trick pony in that regard. Anyway, I won't tarry too long. If anybody has any strong opinions, do let me know. And my biggest piece of advice would be, do yourself a favor, go look up the TheDiomedef16 channel, and you know, you can see how YouTube used to be. That's all for now. Take care.